it's Kate and Emma from Women's Health and Wellbeing Services. Just wanted to jump on today to have a chat about the topic of fundraising and how that would impact our organisation. So sometimes there's a misconception that Women's Health and Wellbeing Services are actually a government organisation, but we're not. We're a not-for-profit who rely on funding to keep our doors open and to keep offering services to our clients. So while the need in our community for our services has grown, unfortunately that funding doesn't grow alongside that to the speed that we would like. So
or at all.
Yeah, or at all. So fundraising is a topic that we're constantly talking about and trying to work on within our organisation. And no one really likes to ask for money, but we really believe in the services that we offer. So that's why fundraising is something that we're really passionate about, because we know that any money that people entrust us with is going to go to a good place.
Yeah.
So
I think it's one of the great things about being a non-profit organisation is it does mean that, as you said, Kate, our community has grown significantly and the need in the community has grown. And we're in such a fantastic position because we get to be really adaptive and responsive to that community need.
100%.
And we're not having to go through layers and layers of red tape in order to be able to support our community in ways that they need. The downside with it is, as you said, with government organisations comes money. With non-profit organisations comes a whole heap of heart and not much in the back pocket. But you're right. I think with a lot of the bigger organisations, I'm reluctant to donate because I think, well, where's the money actually going?
That's right. Is it going to the CEO's Ferrari or these crazy...
And that would be lovely.
He's the CEO.
And I can honestly tell you that up until very, very recently, I was driving around in a 15-year-old beat-up car that, I bought with my own money, and now I'm still driving a car that is certainly not a Ferrari. And again,
and also
not
boot space that holds the stalls and the flyer and the stands that you drive around with. Yeah. Less convertible rooftop and more.
Sadly,
boot space.
Much more practical. And,
So part of my role at Women's Health is to always be thinking about new ways that we can fundraise. And when I think about fundraising, exactly like you're saying, I like to think, where is my money going? We all go to work for our money and we work hard for that, and knowing where that money goes and directly how that impacts people is a really important thing, because if you are going to give your money to an organisation, you want to be able to have trust in that organisation. So while I was chatting with some of the fundraising committee, we were talking about ways that we can let people know exactly where their money would go. And that's where Emma comes along. So Emma is our CEO at Women's Health and Wellbeing. She's been here for over nearly 18 years.
Just about 18 years.
And CEO for 14 of those years. So Emma kind of lives and breathes this place and knows the full story of where Women's Health has started to where we are now. And the thing that you notice when you hear Emma talk is about the people. It's not about it's about, I can't think of the words, but there's the real heart in the bones of Women's Health and Wellbeing Services. So I just wanted Emma to jump on quickly to sort of share with you some of the experiences that she's had over her time with Women's Health, and also to give you a fair idea right from from the top about where your funds are going to. I was going to say the horse's mouth, and then I went, is it the donkeys? And so no. So if you wouldn't mind just letting us know your thoughts, Emma.
Sure. So I think I spoke before about how we are able to adapt and grow with our community. And so when I first started at this organisation, we were across the road and we were in a little old house, and it was a dilapidated old house. At the time, I was in a health promotion role, and I was sharing the office with 3 other women. So there were the 3 of us with the photocopier, and we had one landline between all 4 of us. And so you had to, if somebody was coming in to get photocopying, you had to make sure they knew if the cord was dragged across the doorway. I mean, as far as occupational safety and health goes, I'm not 100% sure how many laws we were violating, but it was a fair few.
My home dial-up connection when I was a kid, I'm wondering how you kept an organisation going there.
Yeah, it was tricky. Yeah. It was really tricky. My email was my Hotmail account that I was using when we first started, and we've gone from that with having one main funding body to moving over the road, and we're now in this beautiful premises. We've got so much more room. In the old house, we had people who were working out of a converted laundry. Someone was working out of the bathroom, and to get into her office, you had to open the door. Only skinny people could go in. You had to kind of wiggle through, close the door, and then pull the chair out and sit down behind. It was every single square millimetre of space was used. And then we moved over here, and we had so much room, and we were able to expand our services and really reflect the community need with being able to grow that. And we've gone from just having a general counselling program to having a specialist perinatal mental health program, supporting families from pregnancy through their youngest child being 4. We've got family programs happening. We've got children's services. We're expanding to try and support men, because we know that, they say no man is an island, no woman is an island.
That's right. And it's
so
part of the big picture, isn't it?
That's exactly it. And we know that when we can support the family, that takes so much pressure and stress off individual women. We really have grown our organisation to the point that I was standing in our workroom the other day trying to work out, could I pull the cupboards and the photocopier out and put it on?
When you said we had to work in the bathroom, I was going to say we don't have to do that, and then I was thinking actually
we're not far off.
The space in the bathroom we might need to use.
Yeah, so we are at a point now where we are trying to grow our organisation, but we have used every single square millimetre of space here, and we are looking at trying to expand to offer outreach services. But really what we're about is, as you said, we're about just trying to support people, and we're not about numbers. I think it's important to know that we support over 2,000 families every year, but that for us isn't what it's about. It's about each individual person. So my goal in life is, it's quite a small goal. I want to change the world. And I know
it's
that...
tiny.
I know.
It's a tiny goal.
It's a very small goal and really achievable. So I know that I'm never going to discover a cure for cancer. That's not where my skills or my passions lie. But what I can do is I can try and lead an organisation where we put our people first. And when we do that, we're able to support people, and we're able to change an individual's life. And when we change an individual's life, we change her world, or we change that family's world. And when we change that family's world, we then change their supporting community, and then it goes on, and there's this beautiful ripple effect. So every day what we do here is we help people to change their own world. And as you said, it is just, I'm very passionate about how we can try and support our people.
And we have clients, and this isn't just a once-off thing, I can think of quite a few people in one brief second that have come back to our organisation after completing their time, whether it be visiting us to do a group or for counselling sessions, and they've come back and just said, I'm so glad that you picked up the phone, or I'm so glad that it was you that I came to see. And we never want to be a place where people come to and they just get the answer of no, or we can't help. And it's very really lovely to see that I've worked in different kind of industries before, and people can talk the talk of we're all about people and this and that. This place actually is, and it's difficult not to get emotional about when I think of the people that have come back and made. To me, that shows a real connection, that they've made the effort, they've taken time out of their day to call or to come back and say, if you guys hadn't have picked up the phone, or if you hadn't have run that group or offered me the counselling support, I don't know where I would be now. And that's a huge thing, and that's what we want this place to be. We want it to be a safe space that people that need support know that they can get it, and that they'll be nurtured along the journey.
And you're right. Yeah. I think that idea about it not being about numbers, when I first took on my current role, we had a group that had very small numbers, and it was a group that we had got some funding for, but still we were like going, do we run it just for 2 participants? What do we do? And I sort of sat down and said, you know what, if it helps those 2 participants, then actually it's worth it. So let's go ahead and let's run it. And then I'm going to try and get through this story without crying, but I can't guarantee it. So then at the end of it was a 6-week course. At the end of the course, the facilitator had shared that the group was going to be cancelled, and I said, no, let's go ahead and let's do it. And so she asked to speak with me, and she came in and she said, I just wanted to let you know that my baby hasn't slept for their entire life, and I have tried absolutely everything. And this was my last ditch effort, because I tried everything, but I needed to know that I had tried everything. And she'd got the tablets and she'd got everything stockpiled at home, and she'd worked out that she would crush the tablets and put them in her baby's bottle, and she would feed the baby, and then she would clean it all up, and then she would take the tablets and she would breastfeed her baby, and then it would look as though she had overdosed and she had accidentally, the baby had lost their life as well. And so she just wanted to say that because of this group, her baby had slept for the first time and she had flushed the pills down the toilet, and she wasn't going to go ahead with that. So because of a group that we had been going to cancel, because we only had 2 people in it, her son and her, and you know, her entire family, their lives were impacted forever. So she sent me a card when he turned 1 to say that he wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for our organisation. So it's those kinds of stories. And the thing is that we hear these big stories, but then there's also stories where women come in and when they start their service here, they can't manage to brush their own hair.
Yep.
Because they just don't have capacity to be able to brush their own hair.
Yep.
And at the end of their sessions here, they're coming in and they've brushed their hair, and
they're like this breath of fresh air, and they'll just, they're the same person, but their spirit is back, you know, and that brightness in their eyes is back. And like you say, that story just is, you know, incredible. And you know, you don't ever know the impact that you can make in someone's life just by showing up for them and being there. And there's also been, you know, different areas where we've had people that are sitting in their car just going, I'm exhausted, I'm at my point, I don't know what to do anymore. And I still have conversations with a lady that comes in, and she just says all the time, so glad you picked up I'm so glad I got you on the end of the phone. And that's not something that we take for granted either. Like, we know how lucky we are to be in the roles that we're in, and to be trusted by people in our community to support them. So that's not something that we ever take for granted.
And the people who come here have to do the work. You know, it's not sadly, we don't have a magic wand, we don't have a magic bubble or anything like that. People have to do the work, but it is a huge honour and privilege to get to be a part of travelling alongside people while they do make that change.
And we have this, it's a bit funny, but we talk about when we're out the front that it's the only job you can think of where you're sad when people are doing better, because if they're finishing up sessions, it means they're on this good path and they're ready to do it alone. And it's like we need a next step group, like a social group, so we can just still see everybody, because we're so happy that they're doing well, but we're also you know, we just love being part of their story. So it's a funny predicament to find yourself in.
And my favourite part about working here is when I see people when they come in for their first session, and quite often we see the people who are really having to try and psych themselves up to get up the courage to come in, and we see them put their hand on the door and they just, you can see them like willing themselves to get up the courage to open the door and walk in. And then a few sessions later, or a few groups later, you know, whatever it might be, they're literally dancing up the corridor, pull the door open, hi, you know, talking to our reception staff by name, just going to make myself a cup of tea, and
know where the tea, coffee is, you know, settle themselves in. It's so beautiful. And we don't ever want any of our clients to think that we don't know how much work goes into coming that first time. We get it. We know that it's not just a matter of walking in for your first appointment. There's thinking about it at home, there's getting yourself here, and we just have so much respect for the work that all of our clients put in. It's just incredible.
And it takes so much courage to pick up the phone. And that is one of the things that when you say, you know, that client was so grateful that you answered the phone, we know what it's like to be, can't help you, can't help you. So it's just not what we're about here.
And any staff member that picks up, that's the other thing I love as well, any staff member that picks up the phone, you know that you're going to get the same response from. It's just ingrained that we can't be another no. So
that's it. And so there are times when we can't support people here, but we're not going to go, nah. Instead, we're going to go, you know what? We can't help you at the moment. That's not a service that we offer, but leave it with me. Let me make some calls. Let me see what I can find out. And I'll get back to you, and I'll have some actual information. And I think it's just so important to just not just to have someone who understands it and who's prepared to go, I get it. It's
Yeah.
really difficult.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do to help.
And like you say, you know, with that client that you mentioned earlier, just to know that you're not on your own and that there is someone that gives a damn.
Yeah.
You know, you can change the world by changing one person. So you're hitting your goal. You're achieving it. So on that's just a bit of an overview of what we believe in and what we stand for.
What we do and why we do it.
Yeah, and why we do it and why we all keep turning up every day and with a smile on our face, to be honest. It's something that we are all really, you know, we're very fortunate to work in an organisation like this, and we're very fortunate that you all trust us to be part of your journey. So Emma and I were doing a bit of brainstorming, and we were working out if we were able to set up a fundraising drive, like a monthly fundraising amount that people might be happy to give, how that could look and the difference that could make. So I was having a bit of a think about $5 a month and what you can buy that costs $5. So a large drive-through coffee, that's easily $5 depending on which one you go to. A Happy Meal, I think, is more than $5. An actual adult-sized McDonald's meal is definitely more than $5. A relaxing face mask, about $5. A toy from Kmart, easily $5. So if we were to put like a value on $5, we hope that that's sort of an achievable amount. Doesn't feel like, you know, too much, something that you can manage. But if we can get $5 every month, that's $60 a year that we're not having to go and find from big funding bodies.
Yeah, so with that, we have a huge scope of services that we offer here. So I think the one that we're most well known for is our counselling service.
Yep.
Now, with our counselling service, we receive some funding from a couple of different government departments, and then we rely on some of this fundraising as well. Now, when clients come in under that funding, there is still a gap fee. Now, that gap fee is, at the moment, I think it's $35 with a healthcare card and $55 without a healthcare card.
Yep.
And when you look at it, when you are potentially going to be changing your world, changing your life, $350 for 10 sessions, $550 for 10 sessions, when you get to, you know, these huge amounts of benefits, it's really good value if you can afford it. But if you don't have $350, if you don't have $35 or $55, if you don't have that, then it's just another barrier in the way that makes good mental health unachievable for you. And we don't want positive mental health to be unachievable for our clients.
That's right. We want you to be able to focus on, or we want people to be able to focus on doing the work to feel better, not how am I going to be able to afford to pay this.
That's it. So we want to identify those barriers, and then we want to find ways to smash them down.
Yep.
So if we're looking at the fact that $35 per session is, you know, that's not affordable for some clients, we actually have this fundraising, financial hardship pool, and we generate that through fundraising. So each year we have a small pot of money, and people who experience financial hardship who can't afford $35, we work with them to find out, is there anything that they can afford? Because we don't want finances to stop people accessing services. But that financial hardship pool has to come from somewhere. So as you're saying, that $5 a month, which is $60 a year, that pays for the gap sessions for two of the people who are, for 2 sessions under the healthcare card.
Yep, that's right.
So, you know, that's one person donating $5 a month covers 2 counselling sessions.
Yeah, which is just kind of mind-blowing, really, when you think about it. So say if we were to expand on that, I'm not great at maths, but I have done a little bit of mathematician work. So if we have someone $5 a month for 12 months, that's $60 a year. If we then had 100 people a month doing $5 per month, that's $6,000 per year. So that's a lot more counselling sessions. I can't think how many counselling sessions, but
200.
There you go. So then if we had 1,000 people per month donating $5, that's $60,000 per year, which if you break that back down to that $5 per month, and I tell you what, there's a lot more than 1,000 people living in the Perth metro area and beyond. $60,000 for a place like this is just
$60,000. So if we could have 1,000 people donating $5 a month for a year, $60,000 pays for an additional therapist.
So that's
25 sessions per week for a year.
Yeah.
So, that's huge. And that really does enable us to change the world.
Yeah. And it's by people power, and that's part of it that I just find incredible as well, that, it's very easy to make donations and then not be quite sure where that money's going. But, that's what we're saying, that money, $60,000 is literally an entire therapist providing 25 sessions per week to people.
And I think that, as we spoke about at the beginning, the money goes directly to service provision. So it doesn't go to admin or overheads. It doesn't sit in a bank account because we might need it on a rainy day.
No.
It's pouring. There are so many people sitting out there who need support. It is, it's pouring down. That's the most polite way I can put that. I'm trying really hard to stay polite.
I think earlier you said about the no red tape. That's the way we live and breathe here. We're not about sitting on something for 4 months to decide if it's a good idea or not. That money that comes in, that money's getting spent, and it's going to service poor people. And
we don't, with the no red tape, we've realised that obviously there's an issue at the moment with rental crisis and issues that go around that, and we now have Tara running workshops around a number of different issues pertaining to the rental crisis that we're experiencing here. So we're not waiting until 3, 6, 9, 12 months after an issue. Right. While it's happening, we're in there and we're trying to support in whatever way we possibly can.
We're constantly talking about, right, what's the current need in the community and how can we meet it? How can we support that? Agreed.
So, we've got our admin fees. They're covered. We're all sorted with that. What we're trying to do is, we're aware that at the moment our wait list it's really high. Yeah. What we need is additional funds to be able to offer more financial hardship for people who are coming in and they have financial barriers to attending. Yeah. And what we need is to be able to employ more therapists so that we can actually support more people.
So that those appointments are there. Yeah. 100%. So that's a bit of in a nutshell what we're looking at the moment with fundraising. Other ways that we would love for you to be able to support.
Can I just jump in first?
Yes, please.
So there is, Kate's going to pop a link to our Give Now
definitely,
page. So we've got a page where people can jump on and they can donate any amount they want. We are a not-for-profit with deductible gift recipient status. Say that 3 times quickly backwards. So any donation over $2 is a tax deduction. So, doing good, but also helping out with your tax write-offs and all those things.
Yes.
Those things are beyond me, I'm going to admit.
I couldn't work out what $5 times, 6 anyway. So, I'm still not going to work it out.
So any donation that people are able to make is gratefully appreciated. While we've been talking about $5 a month, we know that we have some people who, have done a one-off donation, and we've got some people who $5 a month might not be achievable, but perhaps $2 might.
Exactly.
Or, people have gone and found all the coins that they have underneath their couch and brought those in and donated those. We've
Amazing.
really,
And you can rest assured that, like you say, even if you come in with a pile of coins for us, we will so happily take them and we will do something with it and we'll turn them into counselling sessions.
We will. Or services that are needed in the community.
Groups, well, that's right. There's another, like Emma was saying earlier, we run a whole variety of groups, and that's ever changing, and different topics, different ways to support different groups within the community, and fundraising enables us to keep doing that and keep providing those services. And we do know firsthand the difference that they can make to people. So it's something that we want to be able to continue to do, continue to grow, and fundraising hugely benefits that. So that's amazing. So like Emma said, I'll put links to the Give Now page when I post this video. And 2 other ways that we love people to be able to help us is word of mouth. So, what is it? 80% of your work comes from 20% of your customers, something like that. We know that what we do here is good and we do good work, and we're really proud of everything that we offer here. And by spreading the word and telling people of positive experiences that you've had with us, that makes a huge difference to us. So we would be very grateful for any word of mouth that you are able to provide. And also social media is just huge now. It's kind of the way that we all communicate and interact with each other. So our Facebook and Instagram pages are always active. There's something on there every day, a bit of a variety. Some things a bit more serious, some things a bit lighthearted. But by sharing those posts with your family and friends, it gets the word out, and there are people that we, you know, would otherwise not reach. We've had people from the UK and the US, all over the place, sort of responding to things that we've posted purely because, you know, you've shared it with your auntie over in England. So don't underestimate the power of what that can do, because for an organisation like us, you know, we have services that you can utilise overseas, like our Hidden World of You program. You can log on from anywhere in the world. So by spreading the word about our services, you know, it's a huge benefit to us. So any help in that.
And I think as well, when you know, there are posts that are on Facebook or whatever social media, about a group, for example, that could be really beneficial to someone, it makes a difference if you can tag that person, because that kind of that personal invitation does make a difference, and it does make people stop and go, oh, you know what, actually, yeah, that would be good. So being able, you know, like, share, tag, all of those things from our posts really doesn't cost anything, doesn't take much time, has a huge benefit. So.
And it's also good feedback for us to know that there is a need for this, or, you know, that maybe people would benefit from this type of course. So we're always open to those kind of things. So we really appreciate any tagging, liking, sharing that you can do. I think that sort of covers everything.
Yeah, just you mentioned about the Hidden World of You. So if you are unable to come to services here, we do have the Hidden World of You, which is our new online learning platform.
Which is very exciting.
It is very exciting.
I'll post a link to that too.
Fab.
You'll love it.
So, and if you want to post the code for the first month free as well.
Yes.
So we do have a special at the moment where the first month is free, but it's $15 a month for the however long you choose to be a member. So when you get in, that's the membership price, and if the membership price goes up, then your membership won't. There's no lock-in contracts or anything like that. But it does have such a great range of different courses and workshops. As I spoke about before, really aware that there are lots of barriers for people being able to attend service. And one of them is the fact that we are flipping busy.
Well, it all sort of stemmed from COVID, didn't it?
Yeah.
So we just went, right, how can we support people when they're stuck at home? And you know, we've got this huge pool of knowledge within our staff at Women's Health. And so we've got our psychologists and Emma and all different therapists writing courses. So there's, you know, from shifting your perception on anxiety through to, you know, going through the divorce process, talking to your kids about sex.
Not what I was expecting about having a baby.
Yes, surviving ATAR if you've got teenagers that are in that stage of life.
Vision boards,
goal setting. There's just such a huge variety of information on there. So I will definitely share a link to that, because if you've got time, go and check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah. But that wasn't the purpose of my video. I've just got distracted, which is very unlike me. I think, I guess my final message that I would like to share is, if you have capacity to be able to support us, whether that's through liking and sharing or through making a donation, then we would be very appreciative. And I just want people to know that the money goes directly to supporting our community. And so the link, it will be somewhere in the box below. Somewhere down here. We're supposed to do that. I'm not very good at those kinds of things. So there will be that link, and please, literally anything that you're able to donate does go towards making a difference. And, you know, while it might be $2, all of those $2 adds up. As you said before, those $5, all of those $5 add up. If we can get 1,000 people donating $5 a month, that's $60,000 in a year.
We can do a lot.
That goes a long way.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Emma. And I'll pop all the links down below, and we hope to hear from you all soon. I don't know.
Thanks.
Bye.